up this 10-game homestand. The Blue Jays trying to sweep the Orioles. In this 3-game series, the Blue Jays have not swept an AL team here at home since May 26th through the 28th when they beat Tampa Bay. Take a look at the lineup for Buck Showalter's Orioles. David Lowe starts for the first time in this series. Adam Jones, his last 10 games, he's hit .459, 4 homers and 12 RBIs during that stretch. And then the old Blue Jay killer, Chris Davis, right behind him. He's hit 25 home runs in 77 career games against the Blue Jays. That's the most homers he's hit against one club in his career. He and Jones back-to-back, a tough combination for tonight's starter.
Lots of power in the middle of that lineup of the Baltimore Orioles. 4th start of the season for Drew Hutchison. He struggled in his last 2 outings. Hutch hasn't gotten out of the 5th inning in either one of his last 2 starts. Control's really been a problem for him. It's just been off. Last starts took him 68 pitches to get through 3 innings. With a couple of walks and 4 strikeouts. Maybe the Orioles can help him snap out of it. He's got very good career numbers against the Orioles.
He has pitched very well in his career. This will be his 10th career start against the Orioles. He has a 4-1 record. This is David Lowe. He is starting for the first time tonight in left field. Hutchison throws the first pitch, struck, and we are underway. Lowe came into the game defensively on Tuesday night. This is his first at bat. He goes after that pitch and pops it to left. Danny Valencia is in left field, and he is tested right off the bat. Take a look at the rest of the defense. Danny Valencia is in left field. Dalton Pompey in center. Kevin Pillar in right. Bautista still out with that shoulder problem. On the infield, it's Donaldson and Reyes on the left side. Travis and Smoke on the right side, and the veteran Russell Martin behind the plate for Drew Hutchison.
You'd like to get that first one out of the way early, and Danny Valencia with his first career start in left field. It's the first out of tonight's ball game. He was out here early taking fly balls off the wall, fly balls watching it off the bat.
Jimmy Paredes bunts at Donaldson, bare hands, throws all in one motion. What a play! Oh, Josh Donaldson has gotten off to a great start defensively here with the Blue Jays, and that was a terrific play. Barehanded and threw all in one motion. Paredes not yet ready to leave the field.
He is now, because they've just taken a look at it and they're saying it's an out. Blue Jays have had to make adjustments on their inner defense because of the slow turf here early in the season. They're shortening up. And that time right there, you can see it paid off for Josh Donaldson and the Blue Jays. Heck of a play.
2 quick outs as Paredes is retired. Bang, bang at first as Smoke stretches. Paredes' foot is, boy, in the air just as that ball hit the glove. Adam Jones.
That was a tough stretch for Smoke because it was so far on the inside part of the infield. He couldn't really stretch to the ball, but a nice play.
Jones is batting third for the first time in this series. Off the end of the bat, Kevin Pillar over toward the line. He'll get there and make the catch. Drew Hutchison, who's had control problems, needs just 5 pitches to retire the side in order. come against the Orioles. They have really hit Oriole pitching well early in this season. Let's take a look at the lineup right at the top of the order. Jose Reyes in this matchup. He, like Dalton Volpe, has hit well against Chris Tillman. He's 9 for 24 with 4 extra base hits, and right behind him, how about the rookie Devin Travis? He's had a heck of a homestead. Just missed one game after being hit by a pitch on Sunday. 13 for 29 with 3 homers and 8 RBIs for the young second baseman.
At his lineup, Chris Tillman takes the mound for the Baltimore Orioles for his 4th start. Solid start last time out. Just 1 run versus the Red Sox to win his 2nd game of the season. His only loss this season was to the Jays when he matched up against Hutcherson down in Baltimore earlier this season.
His 16th career start against the Blue Jays. Reyes continues to bat right-handed, the switch hitter dealing with that cracked rib on his left side. He didn't have any issues swinging right-handed. We have seen him not favor his side at all.
That's right. When you saw him from the left side, he had 2 hands on the bat. He wouldn't let go, and he was just chopping at the ball from the right side. He lets it go. He finishes his swing. He takes the top hand off the bat, and he finishes with that one hand, indicating that there's no problem from the right side.
A ball and 2 strikes to Reyes. Pulls it down the left side. David Lowe's got speed. He gets there and makes the catch just short of the warning track. The Orioles this season have gotten off to a shaky start defensively. They're missing some of their Gold Glovers, J.J. Hardy and their catcher Matt Wieters. In the outfield, it's David Lowe, Adam Jones, and Delman Young. He starts in right. On the infield, Manny Machado, he's a Gold Glover. Up the middle, it's Cabrera and Paredes. Chris Davis is at first base, and Brian Lavarnway starts for the first time in this series. This is Devin Travis.
You know, you were just talking about missing some of the regulars, so Jimmy Paredes is going to get the start tonight at second base. This is his first start this season at second base for the Orioles. They had Jonathan Scope go down. He's going to be out for a couple of months. So Paredes, they want to get his bat in there.
Paredes had been on the DL with a lower back strain. He was activated on Saturday, and he's come off the DL with a red-hot bat. Ball and a strike to the Blue Jays second baseman. Down and away, a little bit of late movement on that fastball. $14 RBIs, that leads the Major League rookies in that department. Alex Guerrero of the Dodgers and Steven Souza Jr. of the Tampa Bay Rays, they both have 11. That's second in the rookie category.
Boy, he has just hit since the season started. It says he's surprised where the power's coming from, but he's driving the ball out of the ballpark and staying behind the ball, driving it to right field.
Talking with John Gibbons around the cage during batting practice, he was really pleased with the plate coverage he sees from Devin Travis.
We have watched teams try to go away from him, and he shoots the ball to right field. They've tried to come in at times, and he's quick enough to pull those hands in and hit the ball to left field. He's just had good approaches at the plate. And by that, I mean he's very calm and very confident up there. He's got a short swing. Setting the table for this guy right here. Josh Donaldson is swinging a hot bat too.
Full count. Popped out of play. Those of you who have seen Travis, you know he's not very big, but there's some thunder in that bat.
There is. There's good sound when he makes contact. This is off Ubaldo Jimenez. He stays back on that splitter. And with a short stroke, a short swing like that, you don't commit too quickly. And you can still get that off-speed pitch, keep your hands back, and you can hit that ball hard. Surprising power to center field.
Another foul out of play. Those of you who saw the graphic that suggested that Devin Travis has an 8-game hit streak, and then you'll say, well, wait a minute, on Sunday he got hit by a pitch and left the game. Well, a hit streak does not come to an end if a batter is hit by a pitch, and that's his only plate appearance. Takes ball 4.
Tillman walks Travis, so let's take a look at the scouting report for the big right-hander. He's going to throw a lot of innings again. Fastball almost 70% of the time, and it tops out in the low 90s. Curveball and the changeup, I think, is an excellent pitch for Chris Tillman. Excellent changeup, and he'll cut the ball, that little bit of a slider right there. His strikeouts are down this year, and I think that is by design because they need innings from him. 200 innings last year, consecutive 200 innings for Chris Tillman.
At 150 strikeouts a year ago in 207 innings. Josh Donaldson takes strike 1. Donaldson is 3 for 10 against Chris Tillman. He was 0 for 4 last night. Way outside.
You know, even though Tillman is about 6'5", he looks like he's slow to the plate, but he's not. He's very quick. He doesn't lift up that front leg very high, and he can get rid of the ball quickly. Since the beginning of 2013, he's only given up 2 stolen bases.
Some of that has to do with the guy that was catching him most of those times. That's Matt Wieters, a Gold Glover, who is on the DL. He is not with the team. He's coming back from Tommy John surgery.
But what a weapon to have that starter, even though he gives up a walk like that, to be able to shut down a running game because he's quick to the plate.
Ground ball. That's a fair ball. Machado thought about second. Has to change his target. Goes to first in time to get Donaldson. Manny Machado had to give ground to play that ball near the foul line. Looked at second, but chose to go to first.
Yeah, surprised that he looked at second base. Really no chance. The faster runner, Travis, with the leadoff at first base, gets himself into scoring position, but Machado still plenty of arm to get Donaldson over at first base. I tell you, that's one thing about the American League East. There's a lot of good third basemen in this division.
They're seeing 3 of them in the next 2 days. Evan Longoria will be the third of this trio of third basemen. Machado, Donaldson, and tomorrow it'll be Longoria. Didn't mean to. Little tapper toward short. Carnacion grounds out. That ends the inning. We've played an inning here at Rogers Center. Blue Jays trying to sweep away the Orioles.
Blue Jays and Orioles are scoreless heading to the top of the second inning, and some injury news today regarding the Blue Jays. Gianna Navarro placed on the 15-day DL. If you missed it, he had quite a running game on Tuesday night. He tripled earlier in the game, and then he tried to stretch a single into a double, and on that play, he came up lame heading into second base. He complained about a hamstring injury, and sure enough, he will be out for some time. He'll head with the Blue Jays back to Florida and do his rehab there. And with him going on to the DL, the Blue Jays have recalled Josh Thole, who, of course, was R.A. Dickey's personal catcher for the last couple of seasons. John Gibbons says he'll get right back into that role, at least for tomorrow night. And, guys, a bit of an interesting decision, seeing that Martin has caught Dickey all this year. Thole hasn't caught him at all, even in spring training, and they're facing a lefty. Just curious to know what you guys think of the decision to have Thole catching Dickey tomorrow night.
Barry, I think it's a great move. Get him right back on the horse. He's caught him more than anybody in baseball. And, of course, he caught him during that Cy Young year in 2012 with the Mets. Yeah. He knows what to expect.
And Gibby's been wanting to give Russell some time off, and tomorrow's the perfect time. Blue Jays are not scheduled to land in Tampa until about 3:30 in the morning, so it's a perfect time to give Russell the day off tomorrow.
Well, it also gives John Gibbons an option that he hasn't had in the past.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, if Josh is in the game and they have to pinch hit for him or pinch run for him, they've had to take R.A. Dickey out of the game because they didn't have a guy backing him up as a catcher who can catch him. So if they have to do that, they've got Russell waiting in the wings.
Drew Hutchison delivers that fastball. I mean, that is position A to Chris Davis right there. First strikeout for Hutchison. That fastball up and in. So this is Delman Young. He ended the game last night as a pinch hitter, grounded into a game-ending double play. He goes after the first pitch. He got jammed. Travis quickly to first. 2 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update for us. That's always a good thing for the Giants when they can sweep the Dodgers. It doesn't make any difference where they are in the standings. One of the best rivalries in the sports.
Or where they are in the United States. That goes all the way back to New York.
Yeah, Brooklyn and New York, that's for sure. San Francisco now 7-10. The Dodgers dropped to 9-6. This is Travis Snider. He had his 5-game hit streak snapped last night. He finished up 0 for 2 in that game.
Which looks like he's got a little bit of extra on that fastball tonight, tying up some of those Oriole hitters. This was the last batter he faced in Baltimore. Travis Snider got him for a 3-run homer in that game that tied the game up at 7-7. Slider underneath his bat would be a great call.
There's the slider. The appeal down to Mike DeMuro, said he didn't swing. Hutchison gave up a pair of home runs in that start in Baltimore. He's anxious to get straightened out. He's made some minor adjustments, and that one gets away from him.
I think it all starts with the fastball with Drew Hutchison. I didn't think his stuff was that bad in the last game against Atlanta. Thought his breaking ball was good, his changeup was good. It's just his fastball command. He just threw too many pitches.
Bouncing ball. Smoke makes a nice play on a tricky hop, and Hutchison is there. Defense has been outstanding early in the season for Hutchison. 6 up, 6 down. Justin Smoke will lead things off when we come back. night he had a good game with the glove and with the bat.
Always thought that he had some talent, a good player. Here he uses his glove to get a big double play off the bat of Adam Jones. And he's not just a glove man. He can power the ball out of here. I think Rogers Center is going to be good for him this year. Hits his first home run in a Blue Jay uniform, drives in a couple of runs to tie it up, homering off the top of the wall in left field. And I think playing here and getting his share of at-bats, he's going to put up some pretty decent numbers for the Blue Jays.
I think anybody that has played in that AL West and all those big ballparks is going to thrive in this atmosphere. Smoke facing Tillman. Rips at that first pitch and pops it. That's the shortstop, Everett Cabrera. In fair territory. Mike DeMiro said it was foul. One down.
Thinking of his dad?
I was looking at Mike and noticing that he had his father's number on. His father, Lou DeMiro, a long-time American League umpire. There are 2 umpires here that had fathers that umpired in the major leagues. Brian Gorman, the crew chief, his father, Tom Gorman, was a player for the New York Giants and a major league umpire. This is the catcher, Russell Martin. He went 1 for 3 last night. Martin just 6 for 41. That's a 146 average. Ball is lined to left. David Lowe comes in and makes the grab. Dalton Pompey in his first full season in the big leagues has had some ups and downs.
This is against Chris Tillman, though. He has had good success and good numbers against Chris Tillman. He drives this ball into the gap in right field last year, if you remember that one, then just outran it. And then the first time he sees him this year. That is a home run off the top of the scoreboard, so he feels comfortable against Chris Tillman. And you know what I like about Dalton Pompey is he's putting the work in. You know, he's understanding that pitchers have been trying to keep the ball away from him to see a third baseman and to take away a bunt from Pompey, but he's putting the work in. It's starting to show.
Get that off the end of the bat. Dalton Pompey, one of the 6 rookies on this ball club, in his first 7 games, he was pressing a little bit, chasing some pitchers' pitches, but he sorted things out. And over his last 8 games, he's hit nearly 380.
Yeah, and we talked about that in the opening about young players having to make adjustments.
There's a ball that's off the end of the bat. Delman Young comes in, and Chris Tillman has a 3-up, 3-down second inning. We'll move to the 3rd. Thank you very much, Jamie. Jamie's going to keep us up to speed on hockey and baseball all night long. The Stanley Cup playoffs off and running. Some great games, some sweeps already. Manny Machado, 7th man in this lineup, takes the first pitch strike. Boy, Hutchinson is zeroed in early.
Yeah, he is. He is with his fastball. Everything looks crisp. Had a chance to watch him warm up today and stay on top of the ball, stay behind it. Good things are going to happen.
I always like to look at a pitcher's body language, and that pretty much tells you how he feels. And you can see there's a lot of life in his body. Getting that ball, toe in the rubber, looking for the sign.
Not messing around, right? Not walking around behind the bump. There's a good pitch. Wow.
3-pitch strikeout.
Manny Machado doesn't think so, but that fastball had some life and it had some carry to it. And I think that's got to be an important pitch for Drew Hutchison. The scatter report on the young right-hander, take a look at the fastball percentage. Just 60% of the time he's going to use that fastball. I think if he jumps that up to 70, I think that's going to make that slider and that changeup that much better. His slider is now starting to get a little bit more depth on it, and tonight he's staying behind that fastball and keeping his hand on top and driving it through the strike zone.
Just missed the outside corner. This is the shortstop, Everett Cabrera. He is a switch hitter. Two good pitches, but they're both off the plate.
Had a chance to chat with pitching coach Pete Walker very briefly before the game, and he said Hutch is going to be fine. He's had great sides. He's in a good place. He's in a good frame of mind.
Tough to get it past Justin Smoak at first. Big man's got a big wingspan and a good glove.
But it all starts on that mound, doesn't it? When you got a guy throwing like Hutch is throwing right now, he put that one in a good place.
Pete Walker is very pleased with the development of his young pitchers, and I think he's got some special thoughts about Drew Hutchison. Hutchison was the opening day starter for this team.
Well, he could see that the numbers really don't mean everything. Last start, his numbers were not very good against Atlanta. In fact, he didn't even finish 5 innings, but he could tell that his stuff was good. A couple of balls fell in there that he thought should have been, could have easily been caught. There was an error behind him that cost him a run. And he says he's going to be just fine. And so far, through the first 8 batters tonight, he's right.
This is Ryan Lavarnway, the catcher. Lavarnway 1 for 9 this season. This is his first appearance in this series. Of course, the Orioles, they had to audition lots of catchers. They knew they probably wouldn't have their Gold Glove catcher Matt Wieters, as he is coming back from Tommy John surgery, and he's not close yet. They brought in J.P. Arancibia, and Arancibia couldn't cut it and let him go. Caleb Joseph filled in last year. They also had Ryan Hannigan last year, and not Ryan Hannigan, and they had Nick Hundley last year, who went to Colorado.
Colorado right now.
Ground ball. Donaldson to the glove side, takes his time. First time through the lineup. 9 up, 9 down for Hutchison with a couple of strikeouts. Danny Valencia, the left fielder, will lead things
Jays on Sports. Presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Russell Martin, Drew Hutchison off to a good start tonight as a battery. And they're discussing some of those pitches, but so far so good. 9 up, 9 down for Hutchison. First time through the order.
Hitting his spots, using that fastball. He made an excellent pitch to Manny Machado to finish him off last inning. It's a good combination. Russell Martin and Drew Hutchison.
Manny Valencia getting his first start in the outfield. Valencia has played a couple of innings in right field this season. Gaudy numbers. Valencia is 6 for 10. Went for 4 for 4 on Saturday against the Atlanta Braves. Danny swinging the bat well. He got 2 hits against Alex Wood, the left-hander, and then got a single off Cuniff, and also got a base hit off Jim Johnson. So he had 2 hits against the righties in that game as well.
And good for John Gibbons, leaving him in there, starting him against the lefty, leaving him in there. He got a couple of base hits, like you were just saying. Blue Jays are going to see a lefty tomorrow down in Tampa Bay, so I'm sure Valencia is going to be in the lineup.
This is a great move by John Gibbons. Danny hasn't played much, just 10 at bats, so why not give him a start? Get a few at bats under his belt before he faces a left-hander. Bobby Cox did that all the time.
And it's smart.
It's a great move.
It's tough to sit around, and that's the last time Danny played was Saturday. So now you're asking him now to sit around for a week and go in there and do your thing. This is a good idea. Get him in there and get some PT.
And he gets the leadoff walk. Second walk issued by Tillman. Chris Tillman was acquired by the Orioles in a February 2008 trade. The Orioles had a very good pitcher, Canadian Eric Bedard. They didn't feel like they were going to sign him, so they decided to move Bedard. And they went out to Seattle, got Adam Jones and Chris Tillman. This is Kevin Pillar. Andy MacPhail was the GM of the Orioles at the time, and he said, okay, I like Adam Jones and Chris Tillman, that's good. And then how about George Sherrill? Well, yeah, that's good. I like him too. And then Cam Michelayo, then the GM in Seattle, said, well, wait a minute now. You're getting a little hoggy here. It was Bill Bavasi at the time. He was the GM in Seattle, and Andy told me after the trade, he said, you know, I got a little nervous at the end because they kept offering guys up, and I said, yeah. And then I thought they might pull the plug on Jones and Tillman, and those are the 2 guys I wanted.
Yeah, those are the guys they needed. It ended up being, what, 5-for-1 trade?
Absolutely. Eric Bedard is the only one that went from Baltimore to Seattle.
And he was coming off a fabulous season with the Baltimore Orioles. I believe he had something like 200 and something strikeouts.
13-5 that year for Eric Bedard, who's from Navan, Ontario. But they didn't expect to be able to sign him. So they got Tillman, Adam Jones, a left-handed reliever, George Sherrill, who made the All-Star team. Cam Michelayo, a big right-handed reliever, and left-hander Tony Butler. Pretty good use of a potential free agent. Pillar bounces it. That's a fair ball. Machado's going to try to bounce it to first, and he won't make it. A base hit for Kevin Pillar. So once again, 8 and 9 in the Blue Jays lineup, turning the lineup over very effectively.
They've set it up again for the Jays. Pillar dropped down to the number 9 hole tonight by John Gibbons. Hits it in a good spot right here. Not much of a chance for Machado, the Gold Glover, to make this play. Even if it was straight at the bag, I'm sure Pillar is going to beat that one out. Now you've got first and second, nobody out, in a possible bunt situation here with Reyes.
They expect the bunt on the Orioles infield. Machado at third and Davis at first there in front of the bags. Reyes shows bunt, bunts it out to the pitcher. Tillman throws to first. Reyes moves the runners along. Boy, I tell you what, This surface might be the best bunting surface in baseball. That ball barely got to the pitcher.
It's a great bunting surface because it grabs the baseball and slows it down. You don't have to drop down a perfect bunt. Just get it down somewhere. The turf will take care of everything else. That time right back to the mound. Tillman doesn't even look at any of the bases because look at that. That ball almost stopped. Halfway between home plate and the pitching mound.
This is Devin Travis. He walked his first time up. Tried to come inside, missed all the way across the plate. The Orioles are 0-6 when their opponents score first. Blue Jays trying to do that once again right here.
Orioles are going to trade an out for a run right now. They've got the infield back. So as a hitter, you're thinking middle of the diamond right now.
Breaking ball inside. It's 2-0. Travis has 14 RBIs in the month of April. He is tied with Mark Whitten for rookie RBIs in the month of April. They're tied for third. The late Doug Ault had 17 in the inaugural season, 1977. Carlos Delgado has the record with 21 April RBIs by a Blue Jays rookie. Look out, Louis. Louis Rivera, the third base coach, jumping out of the way. We saw Bobby Dickerson of the Orioles get drilled by a line drive.
This is so hard on third base coaches right here. You got a right-handed hitter at the plate. You got to set yourself up to get a good angle with that runner at second base in case there's a base hit. You got to keep one eye on the hitter, one eye on the runner.
It's a little looper down the right side. That's going to fall into foul ground. Devin Travis leads all major league rookies with those 14 RBIs. Two balls and two strikes.
Chris Tillman's got a couple of pitches that he likes to use with two strikes. Fastball, he'll use that 60% of the time. Curveball, the other 25%. And there's the curveball.
Ground ball. They're going to come home, and Davis hesitated. That's going to be one run, and here comes Pilar, and he is tagged out. Chris Davis looked like he was unsure of whether or not he wanted to come home. The hesitation cost the Orioles a run as Danny Valencia scores.
Well, it's going to work out for the Baltimore Orioles. Second and third, one out, and a ball to the right side. There's nobody at first base, so there's no chance for him to go over there. And then the throw hits LeVarnway in the glove, and it just doesn't go far enough for Pilar. A little bit over aggressive right there, but it works out for the Orioles, and they get the second out of the inning.
Devin Travis gets another RBI. He now has 15.
Here's the runner isolation. You can see Valencia is going to go on any ground ball set back to the mound, so he's safe. And there's where the turf backfired on the Blue Jays. Normally when it hits like that, it rolls a little bit further away from the dirt area. But it stops. LeVarnway recovers and records the out.
There's a deep drive. He's done it again. Donaldson, a two-run home run off the facade above the second deck. His fourth.
Boy, he is hot. I had a chance to talk to him yesterday, and he said, you know, I'm getting my pitch, and I'm not missing it. He is absolutely right. There's nothing wrong with his swing. It's the same. It's just timing it up just a little bit better. And you're starting to see the results now. That is his 4th home run, and now he's up to 13 RBIs.
Donaldson with 2 outs. It's a big home run. Fastball right out over the plate, and he kept his head down and drives it out of the yard. 4th home run that Tillman has allowed this season. The breaking curveball finds the mark.
First time that Josh Donaldson's homered off of Chris Tillman. Right down Broadway. And the park's not going to hold that one.
Carnacion strikes out, but the damage is done. Danny Valencia got it started with a walk. He scored on the fielder's choice, and then the heavy lifting. Josh Donaldson, a 2-run home run. The Blue Jays lead it 3-0.
At Bat is the official app of Major League Baseball. Listen to live audio, follow games pitch by pitch, and enjoy in-game video highlights. The app is available on the iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, and Android. Season-long subscription packages are available. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Having a look at the app, Jake Odorizzi pitching for the Rays tonight. They're in a 1-1 tie. I bet the Blue Jays are very thankful they will not be facing him on the upcoming trip.
You're right about that, Barry. Odorizzi really pitched well against him as Tampa Bay won 3 of 4. But they've fallen upon hard times of late. Back to the top of the order, David Lowe, the left fielder, flew out the left his first time up. The fly ball into center. Pompey ranging back just on the edge of the warning track. We're going to go back and look at the Devin Travis fielder's choice. And Pat, explain why this could be a base hit.
Well, watch Chris Tillman, the pitcher. He freezes momentarily, and there's nobody at first base. So I think this should be a base hit right here because Devin Travis was going to beat that out. The ball got away and actually hit the umpire. So we take that back. If it doesn't hit the umpire, Kevin Pillar is going to score. So aggressive play by Pillar, but I think that should be a base hit because there was nobody at first base. Here's that play one more time. LeVar Wade jumps out in front. It goes off of his glove and then is stopped by the umpire. So it doesn't go very far off the dirt. So my apologies to Kevin in his aggressive play.
Well, he saw that ball go off the glove and felt like it was going to bounce away. And then before he realized that it hit the umpire and stayed on the dirt, he broke for home. This is Jimmy Paredes tonight. He's playing at second. Boy, he's got a good swing.
Yeah.
He reminds you of another pretty good hitter.
Yeah, a guy named Robinson Cano. The way he sets up, he's got a wide stance at the plate. I mean, he even looks like Robinson Cano, doesn't he?
Well, he's a big man.
Like he's been watching Cano's career and trying to copy the way he swings. See how he's got the bat on the shoulder, pulls it back.
He strikes out. Good slider from Hutchison. Let's check in with Barry Davis.
Well, to follow up what you guys were speaking about as far as the fastball command of Drew Hutchison, I spoke with Pete Walker as well prior to the game. He said they made a minor adjustment during the week, very subtle, but he said with Drew Hutchison, his command with his fastball issues are all physical, as opposed to a guy like Aaron Sanchez, where it's more mental. He finds with the younger guys, the fastball command is a mental issue. With somebody with a little more experience, with Drew, it's more physical. I'd imagine that would be a little easier to fix than a mental one.
Well, I'm not so sure that Aaron Sanchez really has mental doubts about whether he can throw it. I think his fastball just moves so much, it's tough to find the strike zone.
Yeah, just has to harness it and just find it. There's nothing wrong with it. I think for Hutch, again, I was watching him warm up down the left field line before the game, and the first thing I noticed throwing on flat ground, his hand was really behind the baseball and stayed on top of it. He was really on a downward plane. And I see that tonight now that he's stepped out on the mound. It's got a little bit more life to it.
He's popping that glove tonight. He's had good stuff all spring. He just hasn't had real good, consistent command. 1-2 to Adam Jones. Jones got a piece of it. Nobody's hotter than Adam Jones. Over his last 10 games, he's hit .459 with 4 homers.
And it could be better. I mean, he has been hitting the ball hard, making a lot of loud outs in this series. I could count 3 balls that he has hit right square and has nothing to show for it in this series.
Tried to check the appeal down the first. Brian Gorman said no swing. Well, he lined out in that double play to Justin Smoke in last night's game and also hit one hard to right field.
And then lined out to center. And how about the play Pilar made? Remember that one to double off Chris Davis?
That was in this series. Cost him an RBI. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He chases that breaking ball. 4 strikeouts for Drew Hutchison. He retires the side in order in the 4th. This time it's the breaking ball.
Jays on Sports. Presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Blue Jays have a 3-0 lead. They scored 3 runs in their half of the 3rd inning. Justin Smoke popped out to the shortstop his first time up. You see that exaggerated shift. That's Manny Machado standing out there in shallow right. He's the 3rd baseman. Why Machado out in right?
Better arm, longer throw. You can see the distance for Machado. all the way right there in the first base. So if there is a ball out there with that stronger arm, he could record the out a little bit better than Paredes, who's getting his first start at second.
Delman Young, because of Machado, can shift over into right center a little bit more. Machado's way out there in right, so when he came out there, Delman Young just slid a little bit more over to the alley in right center. I guess figuring if he hits it over Machado's head, it's going to go to the wall anyway.
This is almost like playing with 4 outfielders, as deep as Manny is.
Three and one to Justin Smoke. Hit his first home run of the season to left center last night. Had a home run cut. That's what you want to see on a 3-1 count. Don't go half-stepping. Russell Martin will be next. Martin lined out to the left fielder his first time up. Don't you hate it when you get a 3-1 count and you tap a check swing grounder to the shortstop?
Done that before. Yeah, especially when you're the size of Justin Smoke.
Coming right back our way, but that'll reach the second deck.
He's a big guy, and he's putting on some good swings here the last couple of days. John Gibbons was talking before the ball game about tomorrow night in the series down in Tampa that Bautista will probably DH. They're thinking, and that might take away some at bats from Justin.
Full count. Ball 4. Another walk. That's 3 so far issued by Tillman. That's a bad combination with this potent lineup.
Yeah, walks and home runs. It's worked in reverse for the Blue Jays. They've been giving up their share of walks and home runs, and tonight Blue Jays offense is getting it done with the walks and the homers.
Chris Tillman has pitched very well away from Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Now he'll deal with Russell Martin. He didn't like that sign, wants to get a new pitch. Tillman, since the beginning of 2014, Tillman's 10-1 on the road with a very good ERA at 3.99.
And remember where he's pitching the majority of those games in the American League East in those small ballparks. Put up some good numbers, 10-1.
Against some tough lineups. With that 10-1 record, he leads all major league pitchers over that span with the winning percentage of .909. Up and in, and of course that's going to get everybody's attention given what's happened between these two clubs. But Russell Martin, he knows Tillman just tried to come in with that fastball.
And it's Russell Martin. Up and in, and he has to duck out of the way. That runs the count to 2-0.
Now 3-0. Last night, with Aaron Sanchez on the mound, Caleb Joseph led off the third inning, and Sanchez threw one right over his head. And fortunately, everybody understood it. It just got away from him, especially the umpires.
Yeah, and I asked him about that today. He said, I was trying to go down and away, and the ball just got away from me. Just like this one gets away from Tillman.
Back-to-back walks issued by Chris Tillman. He has now walked 4. That's a season high.
Yeah, he's only given up 2 runs. This is what he has done over his last 4 here in Toronto. Take a look at that average at 343 in those last 4 starts. He's given up 21 earned runs. And now 6 home runs for Tillman. He just has to hit his spots.
Yeah, he's not overpowering by any means. Buck Showalter talking to Bobby Dickerson, the infield coach, talking about the possibility of a bunt here. I think after back-to-back walks, if I'm Dalton Pompey, I'm sitting on fastball on the first pitch and trying to hit it into the upper deck.
They've also noticed, that's the brain trust right there, the Baltimore Orioles, that Galton has tried drag bunting for a base hit.
But remember, Pompey came into this game 4 for 5 against Chris Tillman. I don't think a bunt's in his playbook right now.
No, sir. I'm with you. Look for one down and in and try and yank one into the corner. Those numbers you were just talking about, I believe there's a triple and a couple of doubles.
There's a double, 2 triples and a homer.
Lots of extra base hits.
Ball on the strike. Blue Jays up 3-0. Trying to sweep the Orioles in this 3-game series. If they could do that, they would even their record on the 10-game homestand to 5-5. Hit it hard, but it's well fouled on the right side. The Blue Jays lost 3 of 4 to Tampa Bay to start the series, lost 2 of 3 to the Braves over the weekend. And they'd love to come out of this 10-game series, splitting the 10 games.
Yeah, before they go out on the road. It's been a long homestand for the Jays. If they could break even after the start they had, I think they would figure that to be a positive. Sending them out on the road, they head out for a long road trip.
10-gamer. Pompey strikes out. 2 strikeouts for Tillman. That's the first out of the bottom of the 4th. Let's take a look at that schedule.
Down to Tampa.
Tampa Bay over the weekend.
3 games there. The last game they get Chris Archer, and then we get our first look at the Boston Red Sox as we head to February, and then 4 big games against the Cleveland Indians and all those young pitchers that they feature. Lots of good young pitching, so you'll see good pitching that whole road trip.
Inside to Danny Valencia. Drew Smyly will open up for Tampa Bay on Friday night. It'll be his season debut, as he was injured in spring training. Danny Valencia walked and scored in the 3rd. Ball took off on LaVarnway. He was able to get a glove on it. 2-0. Danny Valencia 1 for 6 against Chris Tillman. You don't want to get too big right here.
Yeah, stay short.
Don't hit it far, hit it hard.
And you can see
might have been a ball, yep.
Yeah, you can see him shaking his head just a little bit. He's a very good, in my mind, low ball hitter. So you want to set your sights down low against Tillman. He comes right over the top, Chris Tillman does, and that fastball seems to gain momentum high in the strike zone. So set your sights down lower.
3-1. Blue Jays have a home run tonight. Josh Donaldson, a 2-run home run, his 4th of the season. Popped up behind the screen and out of play.
Where all those pitches are. Up.
You think that's by design because Valencia is a low ball hitter?
You know, normally I would say yes, but he's walked a couple of batters in this inning, so right now he's just lost his release point a little bit.
Smoke walk, Martin walk. Pompey struck out. Pilar will be next. So he full count to Danny Valencia. Base hit into center field. Smoke's going to score. Martin is headed for 3rd. Here's the throw from low. It's not in time, and Valencia moves into second. Danny Valencia, an RBI single to center.
And he got his low pitch. He got the pitch that he was looking for. It's down. Just has that ability, just shortens up your swing just a little bit more. Good plate coverage, good piece of hitting. But once again, watch where this ball is. Down, 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 and he just drops the head on it. Creates that backspin out into left field. Nice short swing. That's a professional at bat right there. Drives in the run. Martin challenges low. The left fielder gets to third, and the throw was a little bit late. That allowed Valencia to move up.
Infield is in. Kevin Pillar batting with the drawn-in infield. Danny Valencia picks up his first RBI of the season. It's 4-0 Blue Jays, and a chance to really build on this early lead. Kevin Pillar this season 5 for 22 with runners in scoring position. He's picked up 5 ribbies. Good eye. That's the advantage Blue Jay hitters have right now in this inning. Tillman has walked 2, so they can really be patient.
Yeah, make him bring that ball down, just like Valencia did. Keyhole him. You got the infield in. Chance to drive in 2 here.
That's a fair ball off the bag. Martin's in to score. Here comes Valencia right behind him, and Pillar will get to second standing up. He picked up those 2 base runners. A 2-run double for Kevin Pillar.
He's now 2 for 2. Right off the bag, and that helped him get that ball past Machado. Martin watches it right off the corner, and that's a fair ball. No chance for Machado as it bounces out into left field, and Pillar hustles into second base for another double.
Orioles bullpen starting to go to work. Leadoff man Jose Reyes. Right-hander Brad Brock loosening up in a hurry. Blue Jays lead it 6-0.
Your bullpen has got a lot of work. The Orioles bullpen, the starters just have not been giving Buck Showalter the innings he needs.
Little looper into center. Adam Jones will make the catch about head high. 2 down now. Pillar with a big lead at second. Travis pops it up on the infield. Shortstop Everett Cabrera makes the catch. Another 3-run inning for the Jays. They lead it 6-0. We're headed for the 5th. Now it's time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn.
$200, you'll receive a free Dooney and Bourque cosmetic bag. The sale starts Friday, April 24th at 10 a.m. Available while supplies last. And in that J Shop, I'm sure you'll see a lot of number 29s being sold and number 20s as well. Buck?
You betcha, Barry. And a lot of the Blue Jays fans are out to make sure they get the latest in Blue Jay apparel, and lots of those jerseys flying off the shelf. Probably a lot of 55s too, Barry. Drew Hutchison has retired 12 straight. He struck out Chris Davis to start the second. Hutch has 4 strikeouts so far. Russell Martin is working with this pitching staff, of course, for the first time. He got to work with them in spring training, but regular season games, the intensity is a lot different. The adrenaline's flowing, and the movement's a lot different. He went around. But I think Russell's making some subtle adjustments that you might not really recognize, but it appears tonight he's setting up a little bit more directly behind the plate.
Yeah, and he is pounding that strike zone too, hitting that glove. And that's what you have to do. You're working with the staff. This is just the 4th start of the season as we start the 4th turn through with the starters.
Went upstairs. That's where Martin wanted it, and Hutchison delivered. Davis strikes out for a second time. That's 5 strikeouts, including 3 in a row.
3 in a row, all swinging. A couple of sliders to get Paredes and Jones, and now go upstairs with that heater. And Chris Davis just cannot catch up with that one.
Delman Young grounded out to second base on the only pitch he saw in that first at bat. There's a strike. Well, isn't it true too, when you're around the plate, you're going to get those borderline calls?
That's absolutely right. You can see that too is just off the plate, but he gets that call because he's been pounding that strike zone tonight, working quickly. Home plate umpire says, hey, this guy, he's got his fastball and he's got his command.
Trip Gibson, the home plate umpire tonight. Boy, that is a tough fastball, down and away. Reyes on the money. 2 down.
The DIY Expert Sale, only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Drew Hutchison with 2 outs in the top of the 5th.
That was one he missed. You were talking about Russell Martin setting up and where he's been setting up. That last pitch to Delman Young moved off the plate just a little bit more and got his glove right on the corner, and Hutch hit that spot and got the ground out.
Drew Hutchison, 2 balls and a strike to Travis Snyder. Snyder grounded out 3-1 to end the second.
This is what we were talking about. Watch the setup. You can see he's just off the plate just a little bit more, but the glove is on the corner and Hutch hits it. That's a defenseless swing right there by Delman Young. All brought on because of the great location with that fastball.
2-2. Foul out of play. We mentioned the home plate umpire, Trip Gibson. He's in his first year as a regular umpire. He's been umping in the majors back and forth for a year and a half. But he and Drew Hutchison were in the Arizona Fall League in 2013. So he may have seen him in the past, but I bet you he's never seen him this good. Inside corner, 2 more strikeouts for Hutchison. He's got 6 through 5.
Do not miss a single inning this season. You can catch every game live on the radio with the best broadcast team in the business. Jerry Howard, Joe Siddle, Mike Wilner, Jeff Blair, Sportsnet, The Fan 590, and Sportsnet, The Fan 960. Look at Jerry. Is he standing up, Buck?
Yeah, I'm afraid he is.
He's blocking our guy, Tom Young. We can't forget about Tom Young, all the games that he has.
Tom, the great producer for that radio, and those guys do a heck of a job. Josh Donaldson, he got into one last time up. Talk about the home run distance. According to the home run tracker, Donaldson's home run traveled 481 feet. The longest home run hit this season. Alex Rodriguez had the longest at 477.
You know, I know that was off the facing of the upper deck. Edwin's went into the 5th deck.
It was a little bit more toward center field, I believe.
Did they track the trajectory? I mean, his was more of a line drive. I wonder if they add that in there. I don't know, but that's pretty impressive. 481.
Anything over the fence is good for me.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how far you hit it, right? Just so it clears.
It's not like cricket. Over the line is 6. Josh Donaldson now with 4 home runs, and the Blue Jays have a 6-0 lead. The big guys in the middle of the order, they're doing their thing. Encarnacion, he has 4 home runs. But boy, the bottom of the lineup again tonight, 3 more RBIs coming out of the 8 and 9 spot. How about crossing up the defense? Donaldson turns around first. He's headed for second. And he'll get there with a stand-up leadoff double. You talk about somebody that's going to enjoy hitting here at Rogers Center.
Hit them where they ain't. That's always been the mantra of good hitters, and that's what Josh does right here. We've talked this whole homestand, his ability to hit the ball all over the place and how he can drive the ball out of the ballpark. How about this, right down the right field line? How do you defense that? How do you pitch to that?
Well, what you do is you straighten up the defenses, and that's what they're trying to do. Go the other way, and you get your lanes back. And when Encarnacion taking all the way.
You were talking about the bottom half of the order. They have extended rallies. They have started rallies. So far, the early parts of the season, it's been very impressive.
Jose Bautista talked to the young hitters and said to them, listen, don't worry about doing too much bottom of the order. Just get on base. We don't care how you get on base. Turn it over. When you think about having Reyes and then Travis, Donaldson, Bautista, Edwin, All those guys, they know what they're doing with the bat. You guys down the bottom of the order, just make sure you extend the innings.
And they have. They listen to them. They've put up good at bats. That's how you lead the American League in runs scored. When you've got everybody working together.
Oh, it's a fun offense too. Trip Gibson took one off the mask. A little courtesy trip to the mound from Ryan Lavarnway. Pilar drove in two with a double. Danny Valencia is perfect tonight. He has driven in a run and scored two. Carnacion strikes out. 3 strikeouts for Tillman.
Second time that he's gotten Edwin tonight. Got a little bit more behind that fastball.
Well, hopefully the Blue Jays will get Jose Bautista back in the lineup tomorrow down in St. Petersburg when they open up against the Rays. It's a left-hander, Drew Smiley.
There's some talk of Michael Saunders might be in Tampa when the Blue Jays get there also.
You know, and Michael Saunders was hurt in spring training, but right now it's kind of tough to see how he's going to fit in. I know he's a left-handed bat, and you get a tough righty, you can certainly put him in there. Pilar has played well. He now has 8 RBIs. Played terrific in the field. Obviously, in a situation like this, if Bautista were to DH for a couple of days, you could put Saunders in left, Pompey in center, and Pilar in right.
And that's what Gibby was talking about before the game, that they would have, quote, regular outfielders in the outfield. Last couple of nights they've had to have infielders out there, if you will. Ryan Goins got the start last night in left field. Danny Valencia tonight.
I have never heard a manager, as long as I've been in this game, complain of too many good players.
No.
We got way too many good players on this team.
He'll find a way to make it all work, right? And that's what the Blue Jays, at least offensively, they're putting together some good hitters.
Rest in smoke. Ball 4.
The championship-winning Honda CRF 450R for those who dare to ride red.
Here's Tillman. Walk smoke for a second time. He turns things over to the Orioles bullpen. Brad Brock, first out. Dave Wallace, the pitching coach for the Orioles, had some encouraging words for Chris Tillman. Tillman has faced 41 Blue Jays this season. 20 have reached base and 13 have scored.
And for the 8th straight day, a starter for the Orioles cannot go 6 innings. This is Brad Brock for the 8th time this year. Brock pitched on Tuesday, that inning for the Orioles.
Russell Martin cuts on the first pitch.
He's got a good moving fastball and a good changeup. Gets lots of ground balls, and that's what they're looking for right here. Something on the ground to get out of this inning.
Fair ball inside the bag at third. Donaldson's going to score. Smoke is headed for third. Russell Martin will hustle into second with another RBI double. For Martin, that's his 9th ribby.
And another double for the Blue Jays. Well, they got the ground ball. Just hit hard right inside the bag once again. We saw Pilar double off the bag. This one right over the bag down the left field line.
Martin's second double of the season. As we mentioned, he now has 9 ribbies, and the Orioles have to come in and play halfway with Dalton Pompey at the plate. Smoke at third, Martin at second. Smoke is Tillman's responsibility. Tillman walked him as the last batter he faced in this game. Josh Donaldson with a big night. Off the end of the bat, Tillman will go over and let it roll. It'll trickle foul. It's the only play he had. Or excuse me, that's Brock, of course.
Brock had thoughts of it. We were watching the Blue Jays when they first got here to start this homestand, roll baseballs up each foul line. And every time it was rolling along the foul line, it fell off and fell out of play. So smart play by Brock.
It seemed as though if the ball was 18 inches fair, it would stay fair. But anything close to the line always bent into foul ground.
Yep, stays true. But you get it closer to that chalk line, and the ball starts to fall off. And that time it fell off. And Dalton gets another swing.
A run in here in the 5th. Blue Jays scored 3 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th, 1 here in the 5th. Pompey 0 for 2 so far. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brad Brock gave up the double to Martin. Pompey strikes out. Ball down and away.
Told you Brock's got pretty good movement on all of his pitches. That's his changeup. Watch that thing dive down and away and out of the strike zone. Not afraid to throw it to the lefties.
Danny Valencia has been aboard twice. He walked and scored in the 3rd. Single, drove in a run, and scored in the 4th. Danny Valencia was 4 for 4 on Saturday against the Braves. Perfect pitch right on the outside edge. Valencia's been on base his last 6 plate appearances, and she really doesn't care about it. Valencia strikes out. Blue Jays add a run. They take a 7-0 lead into the 6th, and here comes the Home Hardware cleanup crew. Brought to you by Natura, Home Hardware's exclusive line of safe, environmentally friendly cleaning products.
Sox, great time to get yourself a Blue Jays ticket package. You pick the games and the reserve seats that will get you closer to the action. You can start from 10 games all the way up to a full season, and we'll find the best seats that suit your need. Go to BlueJays.com to learn more about the great benefits of being a Blue Jays ticket package holder. What?
Thank you very much, Barry. We move to the 6th. Manny Machado will lead things off. He drives this ball deep to left field, and that ball is gone. Manny Machado gets the first hit for the Orioles, and it's a solo home run. Hutchison had retired the first 15 batters to start the game.
Shutout gone, no hitter gone, perfect game gone. Now just win the ball game, and I'm sure if you talk to Drew Hutchison, that's all he cares about. Fastball looked like here's a get me over fastball, and it runs right into the bat of Machado, who homers for the second time this season.
You see where Russell Martin was set up, down and away, and that ball moved all the way across the plate. Cabrera grounds out to the second baseman. Manny Machado's got big-time power. He's off to a bit of a slow start. Came into this game batting 196 to start the season. But he'll be around. That's the third home run the Orioles have hit against Drew Hutchison this season. Perfect pitch.
Yeah, he's got that thing zeroed in tonight, doesn't he? To the right-handers.
Slider in the same spot, but it broke down and away. Ball and a strike to the Orioles catcher, Ryan Lavarnway. He grounded out third base his first time up. There's a line drive to left, and Danny Valencia looks like he's played there his whole life.
The DIY Expert Sale, only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
This is the final game of a 10-game homestand. Jays trying to wrap it up with a win. David Lowe swings right through the first pitch. That's a base hit into center field for Lowe, a 2-out single.
First hit of the season for David Lowe. Picked on a fastball right there from Hutchison.
That snaps and 0 for 7. His first start in this series. Jimmy Paredes, switch hitting second baseman. He bunted out the first time up and struck out the second time. Paredes is 6'3", weighs 200 pounds. He's a big man. We saw his power here last night. He hit his opposite field home run, a 2-run shot in the third inning off Aaron Sanchez.
They liked him so much they lost him, and then they went and traded for him. Got him back.
Paredes is really interesting when you look at his career path. He was signed originally by the Yankees as an amateur free agent in 2006. Then he was acquired by Houston with Mark Melancon in exchange for Lance Berkman. That was in July of 2010. And then waiver claims by Miami, the Orioles, Kansas City, and then he was finally purchased by the Orioles from Kansas City. It's kind of interesting that it looks like he may have found a home here with the Orioles.
Well, there's no question that he can hit. All you have to do is watch him for a little bit. You can see that he can hit. The question for Jimmy Paredes is, where do you play him? He's played some third. He's played some first. They've tried him in the outfield. Tonight he's playing second base. Find a home for him, because this bat can really play.
Ground ball. Travis, couple of steps to his right. The inning is over. The shutout is gone. The no-hitter is gone. But Drew Hutchison walks off the mound with a 7-1 lead.
Upgrade courtesy of TD. Meanwhile, over in the Jays Care Community Clubhouse, our folks from Holland Bloor View Kids Rehabilitation Hospital.
What? Thank you, Barry. Good to have you folks here in the ballpark tonight. And you have been entertained by a 7-run breakout night for the Blue Jay hitters once again. Chris Tillman knocked out in the 5th. He is charged with 7 earned runs on 5 hits, and he walked 5. Kevin Pillar 2 for 2 already. Giannis Navarro on the left has been placed on the disabled list, and Josh Tolle has just been called up from AAA Buffalo. So Navarro left the game 2 nights ago with a strained hamstring, and there are some that suggest it might be a slight tear, and if that's the case, you're probably looking at 3 weeks, maybe even 4.
Yeah, a little bit longer. So Josh Tolle came up from AAA. They played in Pawtucket and then bust over to Lehigh Valley and got the call, and then made his way here this afternoon to Toronto, and will keep his bags packed as the Blue Jays head out on the road.
Pilar takes ball 4. That's 6 walks for the Blue Jays tonight. Let's check in with Jamie Kemp. Kevin Kiermaier can really play, man. He's a terrific defender. He helps out Jake Odorizzi, who has allowed just 2 hits through 5 innings and kept that game tied. They'll be down in St. Petersburg tomorrow to take on the Rays, and the Blue Jays will be looking for a little payback as Tampa Bay treated the Jays rudely right here in Rogers Center. They won 3 of the 4 games the clubs played.
Got great pitching. We got great pitching in that series. Blue Jays don't have to face Odorizzi if he's throwing tonight. He was on his game.
Reyes pops it up behind home. Barnway doesn't have a play. You know, you mentioned Tolle was in Pawtucket and got the call, got to Lehigh Valley, probably went back to Buffalo and then came here. I was actually taken off a plane in Chicago. We had a morning flight from Omaha going somewhere in the American Association. The catcher, Jerry May, broke his finger the night before playing the White Sox. They took me off the plane when we stopped in Chicago.
And did what with you? Where did they take
caught.
you? Oh, right in Chicago. The team was in Chicago.
The team was in Chicago. I caught the afternoon game. Didn't have any of my equipment. Had to borrow everything. But they called out, "Is there Martinez here?"
Was that the pilot?
Yeah.
When we land, Mr. Martinez.
You know, I thought something terrible had happened, but they called me up, and I went and caught that afternoon at Comiskey Park.
That kind of stuff happens all the time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In baseball.
You just don't know when you're going to get the call, and you always hope you get it quickly. Reyes shoots it down the right side, foul. 2-2.
That was before cell phones, wasn't it, Buck? Where they couldn't just call your cell phone?
They had a wire Morse coded to the airplane.
Pony Express.
Reyes had a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd inning. That kind of set up the 3-run 3rd inning. After Valencia walked and Pilar had an infield single, Reyes drops down a sacrifice bunt. Travis then had a RBI fielder's choice, and Josh Donaldson capped off the inning with a 2-run homer.
Blue Jays have had some long and extended at-bats tonight against the Baltimore Orioles pitching staff. This is pitch number 8 for Jose Reyes in this at-bat.
There goes Pilar. Reyes lines it into center. Jones got a good read, makes the catch, throws on the run, but Pilar will get back to first safely. So 1 down. Devin Travis will step in the batter's box. So far, he is 0 for 2 with a walk.
You want to see the definition of a good hitter? Look at the spray chart for Devin Travis this season, where he spreads it around. 6 hits to left field, 5 to center, 8 hits to right field. Tells you how do you pitch them, how do you defend them, where do you defend them, and if you look out on the defense now from that spray chart right there, you can see the Baltimore Orioles are pretty much straight up all over the diamond. Look at that. Look at the holes that Devin can shoot for.
Yeah, there's a big hole on the infield on the right side. Both alleys are wide open and down either line. That's how you get your lanes back. Hit it foul line to foul line. Ball on the strike. Devin Travis came into this game third in the American League in hitting, batting .388. That's got to be a great feeling for a rookie. And I know you're not going to get too wrapped up this time of the year. But Mr. Tabler, in 1986, you finished up the season fourth in the American League.
That's right.
You had to feel pretty proud about that accomplishment.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, the guys I thought ahead of me were the guys that it was more impressive. Kirby
You mean
Puckett,
Wade Boggs, Don Mattingly, and Kirby Puckett?
Yeah. Yeah, aren't those guys in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, and then right behind you was Mr. Jim Rice and Robin Yount. Tony Fernandez. Pretty good list. You were right in the middle of them.
I tricked them for a long time that year.
A whole year.
Yeah, a whole year.
You don't trick them for a year. 3-1 to Devin Travis.
Well, what makes Devin so good, and what we have seen so far in the early parts of the season, is his ability to hit the ball all over the place.
That's ball 4. 2 on, 1 out for the drive of the game. It's presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Well, we have watched Josh Donaldson hit the ball all over the ballpark to right field, but when he gets his pitch, it looked like a changeup right over the middle of the plate. He's going to drive it out of here to left field. The longest home run this season in baseball is tonight's drive of the game. A little salute to Marcus Stroman as he crosses home plate.
Last night, the Blue Jays pitchers walked 8, and they won the game. Tonight, the hitters have walked 7 times, and they have a 7-1 lead. Tommy Hunter hasn't pitched for a while, so he's loosening up. We might see Zach Britton as well, no matter what the score is, just to get him some work. Josh Donaldson's feeling it, man.
Yeah, he saw that one and took a healthy cut.
Donaldson's average now at .355. He's working his way into the top 10 in batting average. And he's not trying to protect that average.
Looked like he lost his footing. Watch the back foot as he swings, slips, and goes down. We've seen him do that a couple of times.
Donaldson on this homestand has 17 hits. That's a lot of hits. He is 17 for 40. And here he's called out. 2 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Kendrys Morales has been a nice addition to that Kansas City lineup. Of course, they got the youngsters, and Morales, the veteran, has come in there, and he's done a nice job for them.
You know who else did a nice job for him before he got hurt? Alex Rios.
Yeah, he was really swinging the bat well.
A little veteran presence in that lineup.
Lorenzo Cain's off to a good start for the Royals. Cain is leading the American League in on-base percentage at .469. Their catcher, Sal Perez, is second in the American League in multi-hit games. He's got 8. That trails Prince Fielder by 1. Encarnacion behind 1 and 2.
They were tied with the Tigers at the start of play today. The American League Central. Tigers lost today 2-1 to the Yankees. So Kansas City is in first.
Masahiro Tanaka was the starter in that game, and Aníbal Sanchez for the Tigers. Sanchez allowed just 1 hit over 6 1/3. He walked 4 and struck out 8. Dellin Betances picks up the win. He improved to 3-0. And how about Andrew Miller? He has got 6 saves. Free agent closer now.
He had a 8-pitch save today. Included in those 8 pitches, 2 strikeouts.
Through 8 pitches, 7 strikes, got 2 strikeouts, and picked up his 6th save.
He wanted to get out of there. It was like 30 degrees.
Yeah.
In Detroit.
Everybody was cold. Throw it over. He leads the American League in that department with 6 saves, and Encarnacion gets a piece of it, stays alive. Reminder, there's great Stanley Cup playoff action right now on CBC. Lightning and Red Wings are skating around, so make sure you check that out. But come on back. Blue Jays trying to sweep the Orioles. Encarnacion strikes out for a 3rd time. We'll go to the 7th. The Blue Jays have a 7-1 lead behind Drew Hutchison.
At 7:07, it is Connect with the Jays night presented by Honda. You see that wonderful t-shirt? Well, the first 15,000 fans will receive the TO Come Together One Love t-shirt. Go to BlueJays.com for more information. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry. We move to the 7th, and the Blue Jays have a 7-1 lead. Drew Hutchison has been terrific tonight. Best start of the season for Hutchison, as he has struck out 6. He gave up a pair of hits, including a leadoff home run in the 6th. Now Adam Jones is hearing it from the home crowd.
Hutch has been very economical tonight. We saw just 67 pitches through 6 innings.
Well, Blue Jays need an extended start. Got a 10-game road trip coming up, and you just never know what your bullpen will be asked to do when you go out on the road. You want to make sure that you can serve as many innings as possible.
Yeah, make sure they're all fresh. No off days on that road trip either.
There's a base hit down the right field line. Pilar giving chase. Jones is headed for second. He'll get there with a leadoff double. Drew Hutchison was perfect through 5 innings, and he had the strikeout pitch working.
You know, you knew something like this might be up against the Baltimore Orioles. He came into this game in 9 starts against the Orioles. He had thrown 55 in the 3rd innings. He had 60 strikeouts. Some of his best strikeout games have come against the Orioles. He's elevating the fastball when he needs to. He's dotting it on the inside corner when he needs to. And he's dropped in a breaking ball every now and then. 6 strikeouts for Hutch through 6 innings. That's just the 3rd hit that he's given up.
This is Chris Davis. Davis with a mighty cut. They've kept that ball upstairs all night long to Chris Davis, and they've handled him. He has struck out twice, once looking, once swinging. The Blue Jays have had just one starter go 7 innings. That was last Saturday when R.A. Dickey threw 7 innings against Atlanta. He ended up with a no decision as the Blue Jays won that game in the 10th. But other than that, it has not been what the Blue Jays were hopeful of, getting starters deeper into the game.
Yeah, we've had a couple of 2 2/3, 3 1/3, where they've really had to manipulate that bullpen. The way he is throwing tonight, you're looking at minimum 8 innings right now. Pitch count still good at 75. He still has a good fastball, as you can see. Goes upstairs one more time against Chris Davis and picks up the strikeout.
Yeah, and that's what's impressive is the fact that was his 7th strikeout. But he has kept his pitch count under 80 pitches. Delman Young bends back from an inside pitch. Orioles have a run on 3 hits. The Blue Jays 7 runs on 6 hits. There's a base hit into center. Jones is going to come around 3rd. Here's the throw to the plate, and they stop Jones. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. This will be the last game for the Blue Jays here at Rogers Center as they head out on the road after this game down to St. Petersburg to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. 3-game weekend series, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon before they head to Boston for 3. Travis Snyder rips on the first pitch. Outside. This is the 16th game for the Blue Jays. They've only have 7 starts of 6 innings or more. So less than half the game. They're going to have to increase that number. You can't ask that much out of your bullpen on a consistent basis.
Yeah, you can't do that for 6 months. And I think the starters will get it rolling.
Hutchison will go to 2nd for 1. Back to 1st. Not in time. Drew Hutchison, a very good athlete, got off the mound on the first base side of the mound, turned and fired a strike, but Snyder beat the return throw to first. Snyder will pick up an RBI.
An RBI jams him again with a cutter right in on his hand. Look at Hutch. Good feed to Reyes, and the return throw is picked by Smoke at first base.
Jones comes in to score For Snyder, it's an RBI, his 8th. Yelman Young is erased 1-6. Manny Machado, the first Oriole to reach against Hutchinson tonight with a leadoff homer in the 6th. Machado was 2 for 3 in last night's game. Good pitch, but low. 2-1, 2 outs. Top of the 7th inning.
Good time to take a big deep breath right here and slow things down. It looks like he wants to rush and try and finish off this inning. Barely stopped on that last pitch.
Sharply hit. Donaldson will go to second. The inning is over. The Orioles had a run, but Drew Hutchison pitches 7 innings. Just the second starter this year for the Jays to go 7. Tommy Hunter into the game to face Justin Smoke when we come back.
Hockey's best roster of experts. It's Hockey Central every night at 6:30 on Sportsnet. And guys, it's time for our Twitter question of the night, and it comes from Robin, and he wants to know, why is it so much harder for a left-handed hitter to hit a left-handed pitcher than your regular righty-on-righty matchup?
Well, Barry, there just aren't as many left-handed pitchers. In the American League, there are only 23 left-handed starters that have made a start this season compared to 66 righties. In the National League, there's only 15 compared to 59 right-handers. So the left-handed hitters just don't see lefty pitchers that often, so that's why it's always a challenge for them.
Yeah, you see a lot of times lefties, when they're facing lefties, they're opening up that front shoulder like they're running towards first base. And I think it's just a familiarity thing. Here's a guy that the Blue Jays are familiar with. This is Tommy Hunter. 6 games this season, 0-1 at ERA, a little bit elevated for Hunter. He's got a good fastball and a very good breaking ball.
Justin Smoke has walked twice tonight, officially 0 for 1. He scored a run in the 4th. Tommy Hunter really found a home in a bullpen. He came over to the Orioles in a trade with the Texas Rangers. He and Chris Davis came from Texas for Koji Uehara. Now that's kind of a lopsided trade. I know Uehara has since pitched well for the Red Sox, but he didn't do anything for Texas.
Yeah, he didn't do anything, and then he wasn't even in the bullpen. And now he's gone to Boston. He's closing. Tommy Hunter was a starter. They moved him into the bullpen, and it's worked out quite nicely for him.
How about 3 walks for Justin Smoke tonight?
The championship-winning Honda CRF 450R for those who dare to ride red.
Blue Jays walked 8 Orioles last night. The Orioles have returned the favor here tonight. They've walked 8 Blue Jays. Russell Martin had an RBI double in the 5th. Cuts on the first pitch. Off the glove of Lavarnway, and Smoke will go to second base. That should be a pass ball on the catcher.
Yeah, he boxed that one up. Hunter throws hard. That's a catchable ball. Slider. That's right there.
This hits off the edge of the glove, and isn't it interesting how you always see fielders do that? When they miss a ball, they look at their glove. Like there's a hole in it or something. Whether you're an infielder or a catcher, you miss a ball, first thing you do is look at your glove like, I missed that.
That was always like a catcher. We used to see them when there was a runner at second base and they missed the ball and it went back to the backstop. They always went out to the mound like, hey, you crossed me up. Hey, you crossed me up there. You got the wrong sign where.
Yeah, put it on the pitcher.
Yeah, you just weren't a very good catcher. That's a tough job catching. I could never have done that.
It's all relative. You could have done it. It's just the fact that you get better as the pitching gets better, and you learn how to catch those tough pitches.
I think if I had a little chair to sit on, I think I could have done it a little bit easier. I don't know how you would get down like that. What is it, 150 times a night? All the foul balls and everything, down and up and down.
The guys that are best at it are little guys like Russell Martin. They don't have far to go.
Couldn't do it.
A ball and 2 strikes, nobody out. Smoke at second. He walked in, went to second on the pass ball. Martin reaches for that slider and taps it foul. Russell Martin got hit by a pitch from Tommy Hunter on Saturday in Baltimore early in the season when these 2 clubs met. Martin for his career just 0 for 3 against Hunter. 97. You see he's all over the edges, but it's a 2-2 count. Tommy Hunter and Zach Britton, boy, they have provided a very good 1-2 punch to close out ball games. Britton is the closer.
Hunter was the closer last season at the beginning of the year. And then had a couple of blown saves, and then they put him in that 8th inning. He's been awesome.
Martin hits it to short. Smoke has to hold his ground. Cabrera throws out the Blue Jays catcher. Justin Smoke stays at second. He has walked 3 times tonight. That ties his career high. He's only had one other 3-walk game. Came back in 2013 playing against the Astros. So he's been on base 3 times tonight, scored a run. Dalton Pompey has gone over. A couple of strikeouts. I think this is the biggest thing for a young hitter like Pompey, is not to ride the roller coaster. Don't go up and down with your successes or your failures. Just recognize that you're going to be the everyday center field. That's chopped toward the first baseman. Hunter gets there quickly, just in time to retire Pompeo.
You know, and to finish that thought, Buck, and just keep working. I mean, you're still learning the game, and to his credit, Dalton has come out here every day, taking fly balls off the bat of Tim Leeper. He has worked with Brooke Jacoby at the batting cage to smooth out that swing, and he's just 22 years old. He's going to work to be a polished major leaguer, but it's going to take some time.
Sure. And he has to understand there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of offers. You just have to get over those and think about your next at bat. Danny Valencia hits a mile-high pop into shallow right. Paredes, the second baseman, is out, and the inning is over. Blue Jays get a leadoff walk, but strand the base runner. We'll head to the eighth. Us up to speed on the Stanley Cup playoffs and everything around baseball as well. We move to the eighth. Blue Jays, a couple of 3-run innings as Everett Cabrera tries to get aboard with a bunt. Drew Hutchison with his best start of the season, just the second time a Blue Jays starter has pitched 7 innings.
Now let's see if you can finish it off. He's got 85 pitches, and they're hoping to get him through this inning. Cabrera trying to do his things, trying to get on any way he can to start something for the Orioles. Trying to bunt his way on.
Russell Martin's done a great job with Drew Hutchison tonight. It appears as though he came into this game being more aggressive in the middle of the plate, just trying to pitch ahead. Hutchison responded very effectively. He was perfect through 5 innings. Breaking ball right to the second baseman. 1 down. When you have young pitchers, and Hutchison's a young pitcher, you have a tendency to think that he's more of an experienced veteran, but he's not. This is just his second full season. He's still learning himself. You can't really ask him to be too fine. They haven't mastered their craft yet.
That's right, and that means you can't set up on the corners and have him consistently hit it. So set up a little bit more in the plate, pound that strike zone. Hutch has looked good tonight. This is what the Blue Jays were looking for from him this year, taking that next step as a starter.
Well, now he's got 3 pitches he can throw for strikes. Fastball, slider, changeup. And anytime you put 3 pitches in a hitter's mind, you've got the upper hand.
Then you can start pitching.
Another good pitch. When you throw a lot of strikes, you're going to get swings on borderline pitches. If you're behind every hitter, they're going to force you to the middle of the plate, and that's going to get it whacked.
Look what the Blue Jay hitters have done tonight. They have coaxed 8 walks.
They only have 6 hits, but they've scored 7 runs. Three of those walks have scored. The Blue Jays have scored 7 runs tonight. 47 of 94 runs they have scored this year have come against the Orioles. Half of their runs. This is just the 6th game they have played against Baltimore. They are averaging 8 runs a game against the Orioles this season. Just over 4.5.
3 times they've gone in double digits against them.
Yep.
Orioles are going to be happy to see the Blue Jays.
Well, these 2 teams are going to meet again real soon. They'll have another 3-game series 2nd week of May in Baltimore. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the 11th, 12th, and 13th. John Gibbons has 2 relievers ready. It's a fly ball. Pilar hustles back, makes the catch. Drew Hutchison has just 1 complete game in his career.
Is that down in Texas?
I believe it was.
A couple of seasons ago. He was dominant just like tonight. He used his fastball. He had a low pitch count.
He beat the Rangers 2-0 on the 16th of May. He allowed just 3 hits, and it was a dominant performance like this. He only threw 105 pitches. He walked 1, struck out 6 in that 3-hit shutout.
More of the same tonight. I mean, you could just tell in that first inning. He used his fastball. He kept it on the edges, and he's kept it down. Not one time tonight have we seen one of those balls get away from him where it shoots up and out of the strike zone. He has been in command.
Only when he wanted to did he elevate that pitch, and he did it 3 times to Chris Davis upstairs, struck him out 3 times. A whole bunch of 2s. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. That hit him inside. Looked like inside the left leg, and he's in some pain. Maybe right inside the foot.
Wait. Tried to get that fastball inside with 2 strikes. He was going to reach back for a little something extra and try and get a called 3rd strike. And that one got away from him. Here comes the fastball in the inner half, and it's tracking, and it's right off the foot. That left foot of David Lowe.
Right, he just tried to get out of the way, and you can see that ball hit him right on top of that left shoe.
You know, and if you've never been hit like that before, man, that hurts. That one looked like it might have got him in the toe.
Jonathan Lucroy of the Milwaukee Brewers just went on the disabled list because he had a broken toe. I think Lucroy got hit by a foul tip, but he went on the DL with that broken toe. Buck Showalter's already got enough guys hurt. Doesn't need anybody else hurt. 2 outs. Jimmy Paredes has got 0 for 3 tonight. You know that John Gibbons would love for Hutchison to get out of this inning. Give him 8 complete.
Yeah. And I think one way or another, this is his last batter. Right here.
Oh, I agree with that. You're not going to have him face Adam Jones again.
So finish it off.
That goes low, and the ball is hit up the middle. Travis backhands. What a play! Devin Travis ends the inning for Drew Hutchison. Paredes runs well. Travis was going away from first base, threw back across his body right on the money. Travis off to a great start with the bat. The glove plays as well. Hutchison, 8 complete innings. He leaves with a 7-2 lead. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zong. What a great effort by the battery. Russell Martin and Drew Hutchison, man, they were clicking from the first pitch of the game. Hutchison appears to be done. 8 complete innings.
And now into the ball game. You were right. Zach Britton is going to get that inning. He last worked 5 days ago at Boston, where he picked up that save. And you want to talk about a guy who throws a lot of ground ball outs. Here's one of them. That ball goes straight down, and it's hard and heavy. 95 on that one.
Like Tommy Hunter before him, Zach Britton was a starter. And boy, he has really found a home. Hunter was the closer to begin last season. Britton took over in May, and he ran with it.
He was a starter, and then he got injured, and then was out for a while as he got healed. And then once he was healed, his fastball came back with a little something extra on it. Throws hard, can't throw a ball straight. Had a huge season last year for the Baltimore Orioles.
Lar lines it into center. Jones right there to make the grab. One down, bottom of the 8th. Drew Hutchison was perfect through 5 innings. He goes 8 innings, gives up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, didn't walk a batter, and struck out 7. Orioles didn't have a base runner until Manny Machado led off the 6th with a solo home run. Reyes pops the first pitch in the air. Delman Young with a long run. He'll get there and make the catch.
No walks. That's what I like from Drew Hutchison tonight. We saw Blue Jays walk 8 Orioles last night. Come back in here and just pound that strike zone.
Chris Tillman, the starter for the Orioles, back on the bench. Tillman was charged with 7 earned runs on 5 hits over 4 1/3. Devin Travis has walked twice tonight, 0 for 2. He scored a run and driven in a run. Devin drove in the first run of the ball game in the 3rd inning with a fielder's choice. Drives this ball to right, and this is going to get over the head of Delmon Young. Bangs off the wall. Travis is making the turn around second. Here's the relay from Paredes. It is not in time, but he came off the base. He overslid the bag. Machado kept the glove on him, and he reaches third, but slides off the base. So Travis will get credit for a double, and he will be out at third. John Gibbons on to the bullpen, and it's going to be Liam Hendricks coming out. Here's the slide at third. Devin Travis reaches third, has the bag, but can't hold on. As the Blue Jays are set to start the top of the ninth, they take a 7-2 lead into the ninth. Drew Hutchison retired the first 15 batters he faced here tonight. Josh Donaldson hit his 4th home run in the 3rd inning. Devin Travis was out at third base. He is credited with a double. That extends his hit streak to 9 straight.
He was on base 4 times tonight. How about this shot right here? That's going to show how he just comes off the bag over there at third base. Manny Machado stayed right with that play, and Devin is tagged out.
Liam Hendricks takes over for Drew Hutchison, the 7th appearance for Hendricks. He'll face Jones, Davis, and Delmon Young, 3, 4, and 5 in the Orioles lineup. Adam Jones had an opposite field double in the 7th. He's going to have another base hit. Pilar hustling over, and he'll get to it. He'll keep Jones to a single. So now for a preview of what's coming up next on Sportsnet Central. Here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak. Thank you very much, Ken, and that's all coming up right after this ball game. And of course, Connor McDavid, #1 pick. He is having a great run. This is Chris Davis. He takes a mighty cut, fouls it straight back.
Same game plan right there. Same game plan that Drew Hutchison used against Chris Davis. Pound that fastball up and go soft away if you have to. Hutch had success against Davis doing that.
Double barrel action for the Blue Jays. They have a 5-run lead. We're in the 9th. This Davis has struck out 3 times tonight.
Once looking and twice swinging at that high fastball. Hendricks gets that ball in there to jump ahead.
Strike 3. 4 strikeout night for Chris Davis. Hendricks gets him with a fastball.
I think he was a little surprised at the velocity from Liam Hendricks. He's throwing harder this year after they moved him into the bullpen. And watch Davis. Check this fastball, and it's on him before he knows it.
Delman Young lines it into center. Delman's second hit of the night. Jones stops at second. This is Travis Snyder. Hot shot past Reyes. Jones is going to get the wave. He's coming home. The throw will be cut off. Snyder with an RBI single. 3 hits off of Hendricks in the inning.
All up the fastball, and that's going to bring John Gibbons out. And it looks like he wants the closer.
Tying run is on deck. Liam Hendricks trying to close out the game without going any deeper into the pen. He's given up 3 hits in the inning. He struck out Chris Davis, the only out this inning. So he'll turn it over to the manager, Miguel Castro. 2 runs on 2 hits, only 1 earned run, and here he's already allowed a run. 2 runners on base are his responsibility. Miguel Castro threw 20 pitches in an inning and a third last night to earn his 3rd save. This is a save situation.
Yes, it is. The tying run is on deck. There are the numbers for Miguel Castro. Just 8 2/3 innings this season. His fastball can get that double play grounder. And that's what he got to end the game last night.
He's been remarkable in his ability to throw first pitch strikes. Manny Machado hit a solo home run in the 6th. Little looper down the right side. That's going to drop into foul ground. Boy, that's what you want from a relief pitcher. Come in there and fire strikes.
Yeah, especially when you throw that hard. Now, he hasn't thrown a breaking ball to Manny Machado. He hasn't shown him one. This might be a good time for it.
There it is, the emergency hack, and he gets a piece of it to stay alive.
The hitter always wants to see that breaking ball, especially early in the count. So if it gets to 2 strikes, you have an idea when he's going to use it and what it looks like.
Machado doubled off of Castro leading off the 9th last night. Came back with that breaking ball and hung it inside. Castro retired Steve Pearce after Pearce was announced as a pinch hitter for Snyder. Castro came into the game and got him to fly out to end the 8th. 3 straight breaking balls. 2-2. Castro got a double play to end the game last night off the bat of Delvin Young. That's a deep drive, and that one's going to way back in left. Manny Machado, his 2nd home run of the night.
I tell you, the Orioles are never out of it because they hit so many home runs. And when you fall behind and you have to throw that fastball in there, they are waiting for it. Now you can regroup.
Manny Machado had a double against Castro last night. Here he hits a 3-run home run against the young right-hander.
And they wanted that ball down and away. Watch where Russell Martin sets up. And it's over the middle of the plate. Now you got to regroup. You still have the lead, okay? You got the pinch hitter. Go get him.
Steve Pearce, the pinch hitter. He goes after the first pitch and flies to left. Danny Valencia with a nice sliding catch. Pearce is retired. He flew out against Castro last night. He was batting for the shortstop, Everett Cabrera. They sent Pearce up there because he's got home run power.
And he likes that first pitch, but that ball got in on him just a little bit. Valencia took a step back momentarily and then came in and made a shoestring catch for the 2nd out.
Machado with 2 home runs tonight, 3rd time in his career he's had a multi-home run game. He has made it a 1-run game. I want to remind you we have the Flames and Canucks coming up top of the clock right after this game on CBC. Ball and a strike. 96 just out of the zone.
With some movement, that little comeback fastball right there. Slider, you can see it. It's just not a finishing pitch for Miguel just yet. He still has to refine that, but with that fastball and that changeup, Right now, he can get by with that at the end of a ball game.
Martin did a good job of catching that fastball.
You know what? And I would stay right there. That is a tough pitch to knock out of the ballpark. He represents the tying run. Make him reach for that fastball again. Don't even take a chance of handing the breaking ball.
Right back to the same spot. Castro, for the first time in his young career, showing some emotion as he picks up his 4th save. The Blue Jays sweep the Orioles in the 3-game series.
Well, he came back with a good pitch to finish it off and save it for Drew Hutchison. This night was about Hutchison getting it back on track, retired the first 15 batters. The offense, 7 runs through the first 5 innings, and the bullpen brought it home. Blue Jays get a little momentum heading out on the road.
Drew Hutchison picks up the win, his 2nd of the season. A reminder, Sportsnet Central coming up next on now. Lightning and Red Wings on CBC. Sportsnet 360, Blackhawks and Predators. And a little bit later, Flames and Canucks on CBC. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night from St. Petersburg. Here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak.